Well, hello everybody, and thanks for coming back. We're going to play another episode of Brokensword. Hope you enjoy.
There was a crotchety old guy watering the lawn. If this garden was all his own work, he was more capable than he looked. Hi, is this the Vasconcelos house?
Who wants to know?
I could tell the old coot was going to be trouble. My name's George Stobart. I was wondering whether...
The house is not open to the public.
This is the Vasconcelos house.
And what business is that of yours, senor?
Look, all I want is to speak to the head of the household.
There is no household. Only the Countess and myself.
Tell me about the Countess de Vasconcelos.
She doesn't receive guests. That's all you need to know.
You don't even know what I have to talk to her about.
She hasn't won the lottery, has she?
No, she hasn't won the lottery.
A more cunning man might have claimed that she had.
Oh yeah? They might have, might they?
And that more cunning man would have been kicked off the premises. The Countess doesn't do the lottery.
What do you know about the Templars?
Who wants to know?
Are you angling for a bribe or something?
You have nothing that I want, senor, except the pleasure of your absence.
The guy was obviously protecting the Countess against the whole world. But why? See this gem? Men have died for it.
Do I look as if I care?
Would you like to shake hands?
I do not think so, senor.
What do you make of this?
So that's it. You're a salesman.
If I was hawking medical supplies, I can think of better places to hawk them. Do you recognize this man?
No.
Have you got any use for a fistful of plaster?
No.
Do you recognize this matchbook?
I don't smoke.
This lab pass mean anything to you?
Nothing.
Look at this tissue.
It's a tissue with some greasy muck on it.
Yes, that's right. I don't suppose this red nose means anything to you, does it?
Ha! El Flojo!
El who?
El Flojo! He is a clown on state television.
Oh, is he any good?
He is as funny as scabies, without the laughs.
Do you know what this is?
See, I have a similar tool for opening culverts on the estate.
I'll be going, for now.
Adios, senor.
The main part of the house was old, but nowhere near as old as the gatehouse section.
Hey, you.
Yeah? What is it?
You would not like it if people just wandered into your home, would you?
Well, no, I guess not.
Then show a little consideration.
Okay. Sorry. I didn't like the idea of carrying 30 yards of hose around me, so I left it alone. The hose ran from some sort of utility room all the way to the lawn. I didn't like the idea.
My hose has stopped.
Yeah?
See, my hose never stops.
Well, I'm sorry to hear it. It's always sad when an old tradition comes to an end.
Did you have anything to do with it?
Well, I'm shocked. I'm mortified. How could you think such a thing?
Very easily, senor. Very easily. I'm going to find out why my hose has stopped. And that means going into the house. You are not, absolutely not, to go in the house. If you do go in the house, I will set the dogs on you. Hey, you. I know you are there, American. All right, you dogs. I'm coming.
Madre Dios, who are you?
My name's George Stobart. I'm sorry to burst in like this.
You must leave at once. You're not wanted here.
Please, if you'd just listen a minute.
Very well. State your business, Senor Stobart.
There's been a series of murders, part of some conspiracy. Anyway, the trail led me here.
Here? There is nothing for the outside world here.
Over 600 years ago there was.
What do you mean?
This whole thing ties in somehow with the Knights Templar.
The Knights Templar are dust.
They had a secret that was so important, they went to a lot of trouble to hide it.
I do not see what this has to do with my family.
Your family had a strong connection with the Templars, right? I believe that they have planted some clues here.
Why should I believe a complete stranger who barges into my home?
Just let me have a look around. If I find nothing...
You'll be spending the night at the police station. Very well. Please, sit down.
I know your family is involved with the Templars, but I don't know how.
You should be asking how my family were involved, Senor Stobart. The Templars ceased to exist centuries ago, and as for De Vasconcelos, the line dies with me.
I'm sorry.
Don't be.
Okay, whatever happened almost 700 years ago. So, if the Templars left any clues, they're going to be in stuff that dates back to the early 14th century.
Obviously.
So, what do you have around here that's early medieval?
Early medieval. Let me think. Well, the house is relatively modern, a scant 3 centuries old. Or, of course, the chess set.
That chess set is over 600 years old? It must be worth a fortune.
Indeed it is. Not that I would part with it, of course.
No, I wouldn't either. That's the sort of thing that gets handed down to your children. Sorry.
Its value is less than you might think. The set is not complete. One of the pieces is a modern replacement. As to the original, it was lost a long time ago.
Nobody has any idea where it is?
No. The children had it when they were taken.
Children? What children?
All in good time, Senor Stobart.
May I examine the chess set?
Certainly. But do not move any of the pieces.
Okay, thanks. Close up, the modern piece stood out like a sore thumb. There was something else odd about the set. All of the original pieces had irregular bases.
My lady, I have to warn you, there's a... You! Why, I'll feed you to the dogs.
Lopez, what have I told you about feeding intruders to the dogs?
But, my lady...
Never without my permission. Senor Stobart, if I find that you're wasting my time, you will be fed to the dogs. Now, I want to show you something interesting. Follow me. Lopez, unlock the door, por favor. This is the only remaining structure on the estate contemporary with the Templars.
Nice. What is it, a summer house?
A mausoleum, Senor Stobart.
Oh.
Come with me.
Hey, senor.
Yeah?
I do not know what you have told my lady to be shown these favors, but I do not trust you.
You've got nothing to worry about. Aren't you coming in?
No, the dead do not interest me. My garden is a living thing. I will be there.
Wow, this is old.
It was constructed in the 13th century as the final resting place for the De Vasconcelos Templars.
It's well maintained.
These are my ancestors, and they deserve respect. I come here at least once a week to say a prayer for them.
Mind if I have a look around?
By all means.
Hanging from the ceiling was a huge yellowed candle. It looked really old and had never been lit. It was a rod with a cone and a hook on the end. I guessed it was for snuffing out the big candle in the chandelier. High up in the dome were windows. I guessed they might open them to make it less stuffy in there. A big statuette of the Virgin Mary kept an eye on the place. In front of the shrine was a lectern with a Bible on it. On removing the Bible, I found a pattern on the lectern top. Hey! It's a checkerboard! Close up, I could over a checkerboard pattern. Close up, I could see that the pattern was made up of glass squares over a checkerboard pattern. It was too delicate to move. Now what? There was nothing to snuff. Feeling like an idiot, I put it down again. The mausoleum contained 5 tombs for 5 of the Knights Templar, man-size in marble. May I ask you something?
You may ask.
Who exactly are these people?
My ancestors. These 5 men were all members of the Templars.
5 ancestors in the Order. You must be very proud.
Not 5, 6.
Where's the 6th knight?
He was lost to us.
You lost an ancestor?
It is a family matter. It can have no relevance.
Well, it's connected with the curse of the Vasconcelos, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I hope you will honor my desire not to talk about it.
Okay, well, I'll leave it for now. Is the Virgin Mary really the right person to be sharing a mausoleum with 5 knights?
You are showing your ignorance, Senor Stobart. The Templars were dedicated to the Virgin Mary.
What's the story with the glass chessboard?
Glass chessboard. Oh, the pattern on the lectern. Purely decorative, I'm sure.
There are pieces of glass missing from it.
Oh, it has been like that since I was a girl.
The gaps in the glass chessboard look awfully deliberate.
No, it is ridiculous. What possible significance can it have?
It's part of a chessboard, and the gaps are for...
Senor Stobart, you cannot mean...
This place was built for the Templars. Your chess set is as old as the Templars. It's kind of suggestive, isn't it? I think this must be it. This is what the manuscript is pointing to.
This is extraordinary. Am I to understand that the Templars left a puzzle here? And in all of this time we failed to realize that there was a puzzle?
It was wonderful to watch the Countess change before my eyes.
Right. Well, no time for wallowing in self-pity, eh, Senor Stobart? This mystery has had a good long run, but it ends here and now.
All those years of fatalism were falling away from her.
Lopez! Lopez! Put that hose down and listen! Go to the house and get my chess set. Yes, the old chess set! Now, hurry! My, this is exciting, is it not?
Don't get too excited. This could be a blind alley.
Oh, I do not believe that for a moment.
It's good to see you happy.
Happy? You know, I think I am.
While we're waiting, I'd really like to know what happened here. I mean, the curse and everything.
It all began at the time of the dissolution of the Templars. Don Carlos had already left their ranks to become a scholar.
Don Carlos, is he the guy who went missing?
Si, but he had reckoned without the local bishop. Their bishop envied us our land and determined to use the papal edict as an excuse to destroy us. Don Carlos was on one of his scholarly journeys when the Inquisition arrived. When Don Carlos returned, it was to find his loyal manservant slain and his children gone.
They took the kids? But why?
Oh, we will never know. The bishop denied all knowledge of the children's disappearance. But witnesses had seen his men kill the servant who had been charged to protect them.
What happened to Don Carlos?
He swore he'd find his children if he had to go to the edge of the world. He put on his armor and took up his sword and shield and rode out alone. He was never seen again. Lopez, you have the pieces.
Si, my lady, as you asked.
Por favor, Senor Stobart, would you be so kind?
My lady.
Calm yourself, Lopez. I believe Senor Stobart's motives are pure.
Very well, my lady. My lady seems to trust you.
But you don't.
No, senor.
It fits, Senor Stobart. It fits.
Working quickly, I found which pieces went into which holes.
Shit, really? Really?
With the red pieces in place, the square bases fit onto the white pieces. I just had to figure out where to place them. Bingo! I mean, checkmate.
Senor Stobart, look!
What is that? It's not the Holy Grail, is it?
No, Senor Stobart. It is the communion chalice of the De Vasconcelos, missing for almost 700 years.
Wow. Well, go on.
I cannot. I can hardly believe it is real.
Go ahead. Live a little.
Are you sure? This is your moment of triumph, Senor Stobart.
Sure, I'm sure. The possibility of death traps only occurred to me a few days later.
So the curse of the De Vasconcelos is lifted?
Oh no, the Countess was thrilled to find the lost chalice, but there's still the riddle of the missing knight.
Well, you can forget about that now and get back to finding the Templar's secret.
Actually, I promised the Countess I'd find Don Carlos.
You what?
I can explain everything.
You have got the odds for a withered old Spanish aristocrat?
The Countess entrusted me with the chalice and the quest for her ancestor's tomb.
You're as crazy as she is. Haven't you got enough problems? Khan and the Templars?
It's all part of the same thing. The chalice is important, I'm sure. The manuscript pointed us to the knight, and I have to find him.
What then?
I don't know. But when the knight and the chalice are reunited, maybe I will. Let's take another look at the manuscript. There's a guy with between them is a gem. Hey, Nico, shake hands with me.
No chance, Buster.
Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves. I'd better get back to the quest. Excuse me, officer. What do you know about the night?
And no,
Shouldn't you be off? Yeah.
I could. Wait.
What does this chalice suggest to you?
Wine.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
No, I have to deliver it to him.
Oh,
Yeah? What is it?
you would not like it if people just have anything to do with it.
Well, I'm shocked. I'm mortified. How could you think such a thing?
Very easily, senor.
Alright, everybody, I figured we might.
Yes, who are you?
My name's... The manuscript is pointing to.
His armor, and took up his sword and shield, and rode out alone. He was never seen again. Ah, Lopez, you have the pieces.
See, my lady, as you asked.
Por favor, Senor Stobart, would you be so kind?
My lady.
Carmen.
Just how long have you known Labano?
Andre? We met at college. He helped me out when I was a fresh air. Showed me around, that sort of thing.
Alright, everybody, I figured we might as well get back to it.
My lady.
Calm yourself, Lopez.
You don't.
No.
No. Hoping this is the king, even though that looks like it should be a king, but that's okay. I have these pieces to work with, so let's see here. I'm gonna try.
The Chalice are reunited. Maybe I will.
I like chess. I swear I know chess.
Something going on between you and Labano?
For that.
There's a between.
And once I ask, I have to go through it all.
Just how long have you known Labano?
Andre? We met at college. He helped me out when I was much.
Do you think the assassin was responsible?
Just gave it to
You serious? She's old enough to be my grandmother.
something going on between you and that cat.
I think I've done all the rest of these things so many times. There's... Alright, I think I've done all...
Best.
Okay, I think now that I have the chalice, let me go back to Montfaucon. I have a feeling I'm butchering.
A knight, there in the company of his fellows. Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world. I guess. A stone knight carrying all... On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack. A stone knight lay at the end of a row of 4. I wondered if this guy had died in combat. I didn't have time to sit around. I didn't have time.
Butchering the pronunciation of that, but really gotta get to Paris.
Chalice from the mausoleum was obviously of superior workmanship, but grimy and tarnished.
Probably need to go to the museum. To do
Electrical.
that.
What? Ross,
Do you know what? What do you?
Okay, back to the museum.
Hi, Andre. Hello, Georgie. What do you make of this cup, Andre?
It's a 14th century communion vessel. Spanish, probably.
What do you make of this?
It's the biggest... Well,
From Professor P...
did Pigram find this?
Yeah, do you...
No, I shouldn't. You're not one of those crazies.
Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I would have...
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
What do you make of...
Nothing.
Do you recognize this white powder, Andre?
No.
Try what I did earlier.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie.
Georgie? You know it? No.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
While he's distracted. See if I can get this to work. Maybe it's late enough in the day when they'll leave?
Georgie.
Georgie? You know it? No.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Try what I did earlier.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Attention! Please do not open the window, monsieur.
Don't you think it's kind of...
Better.
What's the problem?
Not just
So what...
the cook, dear ma, since that is why I keep the windows closed. It is closing time, Monsieur Lobineau.
Already, there just aren't enough hours in the day.
More than enough for me. I can't wait to get home and put my feet up.
Eh bien, see you tomorrow.
Good night, monsieur.
Quit fooling around, you moron! Get your ass over here and bring that flashlight! What the... Who's there?
Let's get out of here!
Ow! Oh, oh.
And when I woke up, I was at the police station. Luckily, I managed to persuade Rosso I was innocent.
Poor Georges.
What a mess. I bungled the whole thing.
I don't think so. You made a pretty good job of distracting those two crooks.
Yeah, but the killer got away with the tripod.
No, he didn't. He's not the only one who can dress up in costume.
You mean it was you who stole the tripod? Oh, hell, Nico. I could have been shot.
Those dogs are more likely to shoot their own feet.
I just wish you'd told me your plans. We're supposed to be in this together. But how come you dressed up like a pantomime cat?
Don't sulk, Georgie, please.
Oh, rats. And don't call me Georgie.
Oh, I really thought you'd be pleased. After all, we've got the tripod.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
The gem fits perfectly, but what does that prove?
Maybe the tripod has to be in a certain location.
There's nothing on the manuscript to indicate where, though, is there? That is not a good idea. Let's take another look at the manuscript. There's a guy with a sword and a bull. Between them is a gem supported by a tripod. There's a guy There's a guy with a sword between. There's a between. There between. I'd better get back to the quest. Excuse me, officer. I'll see you around. I had no desire to talk to the crowd. Hey, you with the balls.
Oui?
How did you learn to be a juggler?
Juggler? What is this juggler?
It's you. You juggle, that makes you a juggler.
No! I am a jongleur.
A jongler? What's that?
Mon Dieu! A jongleur is an artist, a master of the contragravitic aerobatic mysteries. In centuries past, the courts of the crowned heads of Europe had the jongleurs, witty, erudite men to whom the monarchs turned in their hours of need.
Wait a minute, wait. Let me get this straight. Our enemies are at the borders, plague ravages the land, and the peasants are revolting. Thank God we've got Chuckles the Jongler to throw his balls around. I don't think so. Look, a red nose.
Oh, you say, whoop-de-doo.
It didn't seem right to fry somebody's palm when they make their living with their hands. That juggling doesn't look so difficult.
Oh, it does not, does it not? Perhaps you feel you could do better, no?
I'll give it a try.
Be my guest.
I had no idea what I was doing. But this guy was obviously an idiot, so how difficult could it be? A lot more difficult than I thought. That's how difficult. Still, it was my big chance to be derided by complete strangers.
Not so easy after all, is it?
No, I guess not. I had no desire to talk to the crowd. There was a small crowd of 5 sightseers. It's a weird thing, but you can take the most intelligent people in the world, put them in their vacation duds, and hey presto, they look like morons. Why is that? The juggler was good. Why he couldn't put that kind of application into getting a real job, I had no idea. Maybe he just liked dressing up like a horse's ass.
Hey you! What do you think you are doing? You stay away from that.
Hi again.
Oui? What is it this time?
Does this grease paint mean anything to you?
It looks like one of mine, or at least another jongleur.
Or a clown?
Mais naturellement, a clown.
Hardly a breakthrough. Does this plaster interest you?
Well...
Forget it. Forget that I asked. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Le Templier? Ah, the last Grand Master, Jacques Dumoulin, was burnt on an island in the Seine in 1314.
Wow. You're pretty well educated for a juggler.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Have you seen this man before?
No.
Look, a red nose.
Ah, you are a clown.
A clown?
No. If so, you would be a much better jongleur.
For a moment, an idea capered around near the spotlight of my attention, but fell down the pothole of abstraction before I could focus on it. Does this chalice mean anything to you?
It is very badly designed. I would not wish to drink from such a vessel.
You're not going to get the chance, Buster. Feast your eyes on this.
Incroyable! Is it real?
I think so.
Some people believe that great gems always have curses upon them.
Oh, that's garbage. Although, now that I think about it, both of the people who had this before me disappeared in mysterious circumstances. And the guy who was supposed to get this was shot and then murdered in his hospital bed. Do you want it?
No, thank you.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
You smoke?
No, I don't.
In that case, it means nothing to me.
I've got a medieval tripod.
And my Uncle Claude has hemorrhoids. So what?
Does this lab pass mean anything to you?
You work in a lab.
No, try again.
You steal lab passes?
No. Well, not as a habit. This was a special case. This gadget is a sewer key.
I do not want it. Thank you.
Well, I'm not selling it. I just wanted your opinion.
It is hardly my area of expertise.
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
I had no desire to talk to the crowd.
Oh, he's distracted.
In this together!
Not the only one who can dress up in costume.
I'd better get back to the quest.
Why do I feel like I should have done that a lot earlier? Well, at least I got it now. Alright.
Hi, Andre.
Placed it.
Hello, Georgie.
You won't even ask about it.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Let's see what the old gendarme thinks about it.
Pardon me.
Oui, monsieur?
Do you recognize this tripod?
It is vaguely familiar.
I should think it is.
Very similar to the one which we used to have here at the museum. In fact,
That's what I thought.
but this is obviously a poor copy.
Right. Do you know anything about the Knights of the Temple?
No, sir.
The sign on the...
It does.
Yeah.
Most.
You don't know it.
No, I don't. It was. It wasn't. But
Why don't you...
you know?
Do you...
Alright. This guy's not going to tell me anything else.
Thanks for your help.
Okay. A little bit of progress.
It was a simple but elegant tripod made of metal,
Something.
with traces of colored enamel still visible in places. Maybe not.
And welcome back, everyone. Happy New Year. Haven't had time to record much in a while, but I figure it's about time we get back to it. It's more Brokensword, Shadow of the Templar. Oh, this guy's new.
I had no desire to talk to them.
What is this, juggler?
It's you.
Mon Dieu!
Our enemies are at the borders. Plague ravages the land.
Perhaps you feel you could do better. No, perhaps you...
A lot more difficult than I thought. Complete strangers. What do you know about...
In 30...
Look, a red nose.
Ah!
in that case, it means nothing to me.
Excuse me, officer.
Is out if I've shown them all to him?
Look at this
To
gem.
a person?
What do you think?
Hot glass.
No, it's not. Would you like to shake... I stopped myself barely... You?
So you just would have been amusing. Patient for you. Monsieur, you have it.
Oui? What is it this time?
I'd like to have another try at juggling, please.
You have gone on a crash course, perhaps.
No. I just had an insight into presentation.
Huh?
Allow me to demonstrate. The balls, please.
If you insist on completing your humiliation, monsieur.
Okay, now for my secret weapon.
So now it's funny, huh?
The
Whatever.
juggler was speechless with rage. You could have mistaken him for a mime. And without a word, he collected his...
So now it's funny, huh?
The
Whatever.
juggler was speechless with rage. You could have mistaken him for a mime. Hello again.
Hello?
Have you seen this man before?
No.
I believe him.
Oh,
Is that...
but...
What are you...
And...
Boy,
No.
shouldn't you... Yeah?
Which...
Yeah.
And...
I'll see you around. Hi again.
Oui? What is it this time?
Does this grease paint mean anything to you?
A red nose? And now grease paint? You are sure you are not a clown?
Well, I was distracted by Kate. Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Hi again.
Oui? What is it this time?
Ah, shit.
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Hello again.
Hello again, monsieur.
What do you know about medieval ironmongery? Have a look at this little...
A tripod. What is it for?
You mean you don't know?
No, monsieur.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Hi again.
Oui? What is...
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
I had no desire. There was a small crowd of... It's a weird thing. But you can take the most... Put them in their... They look like... The juggler was good. Why he couldn't put that kind... Maybe he... Hello again.
Hello again.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Ah, you are a clown.
Do I look like a clown?
No, although you juggle like one. Now, if I'd known you were a clown, it would have been amusing. And not a humiliation for you.
What do you mean?
Whoever heard of a plainclothes clown?
He had a point. So you're saying that if I juggle badly with a red nose, I'd be the king of comedy. But if I juggle badly without it...
You look like a pathetic loon. Oui, monsieur, you have it.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Hi again.
Oui? What is it this time?
I'd like to have another try at juggling, please.
You have gone on a crash course, perhaps?
No. I just had an insight into presentation.
Huh?
Allow me to demonstrate. The balls, please.
If you insist on completing your humiliation, monsieur.
Okay, now for my secret weapon. The juggler was speechless with rage. You could have mistaken him for a mime. And without a word, he collected his balls and left in a fury. "Hey! You forgot one of your balls! Hey!" But he didn't hear. Better still, deprived of his entertainment, the gendarme decided maybe he ought to do some policing for a change. I had no desire to talk to the crowd. The wall had flaked, and anything once written on it had long since gone. The inscription was hard to read, but I made out Templier and something about innocence. The hook lay in a bed of chain. The hook lay in a bed of... My medieval French isn't much, but the few words I understood seemed to say, "This is where the gallows used to stand." Maybe. I pushed against the door, but it seemed to be locked. The door was a handsome piece of work. If I wanted to get deeper into these catacombs, I was going to have to get onto that path. If the near edge hadn't crumbled away, I could have jumped it easily. The hook led The hook lay in a bed. The wall had flaked, and anything once written on. My medieval French isn't much.
Ominous-looking door.
It's the door, but it seemed to be locked. Onto that path. If the near edge hadn't crumbled away, the wall had flaked, and anything once written on it had long since. The inscription was undecipherable. I wondered. There were 3 arches, each with an inscription. It was time for some brutal destruction.
Yep. Had a hunch.
Hey, that's hollow. The wall had flaked, and anything once written on it had long since gone. The wall seemed in very poor condition. The inscription was undecipherable. The plaster had cracked and was falling away. I wondered why.
Cracked and falling away.
Nothing hollow there.
What?
It was time for some brutal destruction. Hey, that's hollow! I'd poked a hole in an historical site. If any archaeologists came by, they'd lynch me for this.
That's my wall.
There was some sort of mechanism hidden inside the wall, with a lever in the middle of it. Close up, I could see the plaster was thinner where I'd broken through, and behind it were some cogs and a lever. Here goes. The secret door had jammed. I couldn't get through that gap. I'd pulled the lever right over.
Suppose. This. Get to the door. Oh, nice. Go here. Wow, big cavern.
Boy, had I ever made a mess of that door.
Yeah, you kind of did. Oh, something here.
In the beginning was the end.
An end wrought by our enemies began our darkness.
In the end will be a beginning.
An end to our enemies heralds our new day.
Report. The military establishments are in flux. The end of the Cold War has left them with no clear goal and as obvious targets for budgetary cuts. We have successfully promoted a sense of betrayal in the upper echelons. They feel that the politicians have cast them adrift. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Good. Mademoiselle?
Governments are giving the corporations more respect than their own citizens. A groundswell of dissatisfaction and dissidence is growing. The corporations are becoming too large and complex for their own executives to control them. A blind belief in market forces is accelerating this trend the world over. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
The global population's belief in those that govern it has never been lower. We have inculcated a sense of immediacy and action over forethought and planning in all the major governments. They are acting on hasty decisions that cannot be completed or revoked without appearing foolish. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Okay, somehow I get the feeling it's these guys' time.
The tired old governments are dying a slow death from their own
Our time
incompetence.
again. Our time. Our
Our
time. Goddamn, just be done with your time, will you?
Professor, where is the broken sword?
As we discussed last time, with the loss of the manuscript, our search is as a corollary hindered.
And as discussed last time, you have been furnished with a dramatically increased budget. What have you been doing with our money, Professor?
We are working on the principle that the Templars, that is to say, our predecessors,
Hold on. These are the Templars?
must have left a trail when they were hiding the clues to the sword of Baphomet's location. I have a small army of historians and archaeologists ferreting out that trail.
I trust these historians and archaeologists are more trustworthy than your friend Pegram.
Pegram was loyal. He tried to protect the Lochmarn gem when the Hashashin came near.
And failed. And don't call that Syrian maniac the Hashashin. He's an assassin. Plain and simple.
That's not what he believes.
Silence! Do I have to remind you that we have a sacred trust when Philippe attempted? Now we have the opportunity to reforge it.
Oh, for crying
But time
out
is
loud.
short.
Who cares?
Not now.
Yes, of course. We will find Baphomet and the sword. We have already found another element actually within Paris.
Excellent. What is it?
Well, we're not exactly sure at present.
Ha!
But I have my best people working on it. You would do well not to criticize. At least I have not murdered one of us.
Of course. That guy was the bogus doctor in the hospital.
Marquet was a liability. Eklund.
I beg your pardon, Grandmaster. I did not mean to.
Have you any good news?
We already know 3 of the elements. We know that Klausner had obtained the lens before he vanished.
Where was
Syria. We know that he arrived, but after that?
The assassin.
I fear so. It's a shame. Klausner was a good operative.
This will be our last meeting in person until we locate the sword of Baphomet. I hope that I don't. Without it, and with the next. Wow!
Give me a few minutes. I want to grab something to eat.
In the middle of the circle was a stump of stone, a shaft of daylight from the world above lancing down to touch it. The tripod's feet fitted neatly into the notches on the top of the stump. The light, falling from above, struck the gem and scattered in 5 neat rays. And each ray picked out a letter. Starting from the left, I could read M-A-R-I-B. Marib. Now all I had to do was figure out what the heck that meant. Nico, I've seen them.
Who?
The Templars. I spied on their meeting in the catacombs.
And you saw the Knights Templar?
I saw a bunch of guys masquerading as Templars. They're after something called the Sword of Baphomet. The bogus doctor was there, the guy who killed Marquet. The manuscript is the key, just as we thought. It shows the way to the Broken Sword, whatever that is.
And how does the assassin fit into all this?
He's out to stop them. These Neo-Templars, they're men and women in influential positions. Don't you see? Plantar was one of them. The assassin killed him for the manuscript, to stop them finding the sword.
But now we have got the manuscript.
Yes.
So, how do they hope to find the sword?
I don't know. They said something about a lens and a guy called Klausner who's gone to Syria, but they didn't seem to realize the significance of the very site of their meeting. You see, after they'd gone, I discovered a stone pedestal and a carved inscription. I set up the gem on the tripod, directly below a beam of light. The gem split the beam and lit the letters M-A-R-I-B.
Marib is a village in Syria. You're not thinking of going there yourself, are you?
Why not?
These guys are crazy and dangerous. That reminds me, you should leave the gem here.
Okay, what about the tripod?
I'll send it back to Andre, anonymously.
That is not a good idea. Do you think I should go to Marib?
Syria is a long way, Georges.
You're back.
Oui, I have returned.
Maybe not. No. No way. No. 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 No way. Well, I wasn't expecting to see you back here again.
No? Well, it is a strange thing, but I am here on duty.
On duty? But you're just sitting there drinking wine.
No, I am not just drinking wine. I am undercover.
I must be missing something. You're in uniform.
Precisely, monsieur. My cover is that of an indolent, wine-guzzling police officer.
You've got me convinced.
Merci. But in reality, my every muscle is poised, every nerve honed. I am drawn tight, ready to pounce. Bang!
Who or what were you planning to pizzang on?
You must have heard, monsieur, of the terror that is gripping Paris.
You mean the killings? Oh, at last, someone's taken action.
People die every day. No, I am on the trail of Sieur Jacques.
Who?
Sieur Jacques, the terror of the subterranean city. He pops up here He pops up there. The cops, they seek him everywhere. Is he so hush or beneath the neck? That damned elusive Sieur Jacques.
Bravo, that's very good.
Merci. I was up half the night writing that.
Who is this Sieur Jacques character anyway?
Ah, if we but knew that, we could have him in custody in an hour. But he is cunning. To despoil the sewers of our fair city, he has committed many deceptions. He has pretended to be a police officer and deluded a poor war veteran.
Uh-oh.
He has pretended to be a jongleur.
Wow, is that the time?
And an American tourist. What nationality are you, monsieur?
Canadian. Well, gotta go now. See ya. Well, it's not everyone who can say they started an urban myth.
I'm going to save it here for now. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did. I'll try to make more of them. Thanks for watching.